To create the driveway geometry along horizontal and vertical curves, you can use the same driveway blocks used along tangents. On the Insert tab, under the Insert tool, select Recent Blocks. On the Blocks palette, Current Drawing tab, select the driveway block you want to place. In the option, make sure to toggle on Insertion Point, Rotation, and Explode. Prompted for insertion point, use the AutoCAD snap to pick a location along the inner sidewalk feature line. When prompted for rotation, use the AutoCAD perpendicular snap and select corridor baseline alignment. The narrow side of the driveway should follow closely to the sidewalk, and the wide side of the driveway should closely follow the back of curb. Use the cursor tooltips to verify that the polylines reside on the correct layer. To accurately model driveway features along horizontal and vertical curves, you will need to leverage custom frequencies at key geometry points. In this driveway modeling example, 6 additional frequencies will be needed at the apron and curve vertices. Adding a frequency will process the assembly at these locations and provide a precise elevation for the key geometry points. To add custom frequencies, select the corridor object, then select Edit Frequency from the ribbon. When prompted to select a region, select the region within you want to edit. In the frequency to assembly apply assembly dialog, click the plus tool. Turn on the AutoCAD snap using the endpoint option. Then pick the vertices along the driveway apron and back of curb polylines. After selecting all of key points, press enter to return to the dialog. The custom frequencies will appear in the station list below. Click OK to update your corridor model. Notice the custom frequencies that were added in your corridor. To model the driveway geometry through a curve, the polylines will need to be edited to coincide with the corridor frequencies. Using the polyline grips, you can easily reposition each vertex to the adjacent corridor frequency. And where a polyline crosses a frequency, an additional vertex will need to be added to the polyline. Start by selecting the driveway apron and back of curve polyline. You might also find it helpful to include the ramp break lines. Activate the grip you want to edit, then drag it to the adjacent corridor feature. Use the endpoint or intersection snap to ensure a precise pick point. The grips nearest the curve should be snapped to the back of curve feature. The grips nearest to the sidewalk should be snapped to the inner sidewalk feature. Complete the grip editing for all of the driveway polylines on both sides of the road. When finished the polyline, vertices will match their respective corridor features. To get the driveway geometry to precisely match the corridor model at other frequencies, additional vertices will need to be added to the polylines. To add a vertex to the polyline, use the midpoint grip. Move your cursor over the midpoint grip, then select Add Vertex. Use the AutoCAD endpoint or intersection snap to pick the location on the corridor frequency where you want to add the vertex. A new grip will appear at that location on the polyline. Repeat these same steps to add vertices at other frequency location along the back of curve and inner sidewalk. Having geometry point at this key offset location will create a smooth match line between the driveway and inner sidewalk and back of curb. When you are finished editing the driveway polylines, confirm that a grid exists at the frequency intersection along the back of curb and inner sidewalk feature lines. To complete the grading for the driveway geometry, convert the polylines to feature lines. On the Home tab, Feature Line Tools, select Create Feature Line from Object. When prompted to select entities, pick the driveway apron and back of curb polylines from one of your driveways. Then press Enter. In the Create Feature Line dialog, make sure the site is set to driveways. Toggle on Name, then specify a naming template for the feature line. Consider using the next counter field with your naming template to better distinguish the feature lines. In the layer options, make sure to select Use Selected Entity Layer. Erase existing entities and assign elevations. Then click OK. Make sure to select the corridor top surface and toggle on Insert Intermediate Grade Breakpoints. When you're all set, click OK. Using the on-screen tooltips, however, hover over the feature line to verify that they were converted successfully and that they had the correct name and layer. To lower the curve height through the driveway, you will need to edit the back of curve feature line. Select the back of a feature line to access the contextual tool. Then in the ribbon, select Elevation Editor. In the Elevation Editor, select the interior vertices of the feature line. In the drawing, you will see the triangles marker appear on each of the PIs that are selected. In the Elevation Editor, set the incremental value to a depth you want to lower the curve by. Then click the down one time to lower the selected vertices. To validate the driveway feature line, you can use the Object Viewer. Select all of the driveway feature lines that you want to inspect. Select Object Viewer from the contextual tools. In the Object Viewer, click one of the corners in the view cube. Click the same corner on the view cube a second time to update the view. Orbit the view as necessary to inspect the file. If something doesn't look right, retrace your steps to grade the feature lines.